Speaking of the sitting seats, a favorite scene of mine of this season was when Peacemaker goes to the tryouts to Justice Gang, and we meet someone there. We meet a character, and boys, as soon as I saw the character, I was like, "Yo, we should talk to this person." And since episode 1 or 2, I reached out, and we made it happen, whatnot. And I I still don't know how the hell I convinced them to come to hang out with us. But we have with us the one, the only White Rabbit herself, Brey Noelle. Hello, Brey. How you doing?
Hey,
Hey guys.
how's it going? How you doing?
We finally made it happen after all this time.
Nice.
Made it happen.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. I was just in New York for New York Comic Con actually, and I just got back at 2 a.m. Not yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning. Yeah, something like that. So anyway, I'm still recovering, but I'm great. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Good.
So we've been talking about our thoughts on season 2, and I want to talk to you because what I found so fascinating when you got introduced is that playing White Rabbit is a character that a lot of fans didn't know about, and if you're a hardcore fan, you knew immediately who it was. And then I can't imagine how you felt the morning or the night after the episode dropped, and you probably saw people's putting out theory videos and being like, okay, White Rabbit introduced, what does this mean to DCU, whatnot. So first question I would want to ask you is, the season's over. How do you feel now being part of not just the DCU, but you're part of DC history now?
Yeah. It's so wild. It's so wild. It's wild to hear you say it, and it's wild when people say that out loud, because I'm like, yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm like, I will just say, it's a very special, it's just very special, and it's super fun. And just the fact that I have a part in it, in whatever capacity it ends up going to, I am forever grateful, because the very first time this one hit
Nice.
That is amazing. You got one. I was like, somebody please. I hope to God someone at DC gave her a copy of her book. Like, you have to have that now.
It's very fun. And it's so fun. I actually had at New York Comic Con, I had some people bring me some comics for me to keep too, which was super fun.
Aww.
I'm like, thanks for the love, everyone.
That's adorable. So you just got back from New York Comic Con. Was this your first time at New York Comic Con, or you've been there before?
No, it was my very first time ever. Yeah. I had been to one other Comic Con in 2012 in San Diego, but it was a totally different thing. I was modeling in LA, and I booked there was this Assassin's Creed was the big video game at the time. And, will you model as a pirate? And I'm like, okay, what does this mean? What is this Comic Con thing? So I'm they're on this ship dressed as a pirate, and I'm like, this is the coolest. What is this? It's like a land where everyone's here from all over. So anyway, my eyes were open back then. I haven't been back since, but then New York was awesome. My first time.
So how was your experience with New York? Because it was, I think, either the second or your first big con after you had made appearance on the show. And if people were watching the show at the time, I think even still, the finale was dropping that same weekend. So people would have been like, yo, that's fucking White Rabbit. So yeah. How was it taking in the aura of New York Comic Con?
Yeah, I'll say there were moments of overwhelmingness, but all for good reason. So it was like, I was like, braced myself, being like, okay, I don't know what to expect. All I know is it's a lot of, I just have to be ready for anything. So it was fun that it was over the finale episode, just because there was a lot of conversation around it. And when people came by the table before the finale, they were like, oh my gosh, we're so excited. Are you asking me all these questions? I'm like, I can't say. And after it was fun because people were talking about it and all their thoughts, and we just had all these different conversations, and I just love the enthusiasm. I'll say this more than anything, I just think it's amazing, the enthusiasm and the excitement of the Comic-Con world and the Peacemaker fans and all of it, because it's a special thing. It's like a community.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like the love, man.
Speaking of community, and I think even Brent would appreciate that I asked this, but have people from other than the people who worked at the studio, but other fellow actors who've worked on DC projects, have they come up to you or they've actually be like, "Yo, welcome to the DCU. You're part of a bigger universe," all that stuff? Have people come up and welcome you in that regard or no?
Yes, they have actually. I think that's another thing that's been so special. It really is like a family. And I remember the first time I got an email, an invite to a special like screening of like Superman, and like back when before Superman came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're like, welcome to the fam. And then I got to, I was like, oh, okay, great. I guess all right, here we are. So it's just really fun that it's such a connected universe, and everyone's been so gracious and kind and encouraging and fun. So very grateful.
That's good. I whenever I see these new projects, I always hope that like, okay, cool. They have the projects, the word of mouth is growing. That's the water cooler talk each week.
Mhm.
But internally, I would hope that the community is tight, that it's almost like
Mhm.
a sorority, if you will, where it's just like, okay, everybody's gonna have lunch together. It doesn't matter how where you're at in terms of like character arc or whatnot. Like, no, we're all hanging out. And I think what's fascinating with the DC universe, and you tell me, Brent, if I'm wrong, that like the fact that a character like hers is introduced, it's like, oh no, Warner Brothers and DC aren't just worried about the heavy hitters. It's like any
Right.
character you can
Yeah.
think of that is worth mentioning, bringing to life, is worth bringing to life and letting people discover and whatnot. Would you agree with that, with Brent, that like, who knows after this where we could leave with the characters? Who knows? And again, I'm not going to ask you, Brey, if you know or you don't know, but like, who knows where the possibility is with
it would
White
be
Rabbit?
fun to see that character pop up again and again. It's just like it'd be, again, that's the fan in me saying that would be a fun thing to see. Obviously, you can't say one or the other, but at the same time, that's the way, I guess, as the fandom looks at certain cast members who get brought in as these other characters as a new developing thing. It would be fun to see the adventure if they do go on down the future, and how that may make things just that moment of memory of going back and going, oh yes, we've followed this journey of this character from the very day one that she gets walks out of the interview. Anyway,
yeah.
No, I love that. And I'm glad you guys say that. And I couldn't agree more. I mean, just in general, when something like kind of comes to life, has a moment of life, it's like natural. And it's just extra fun when we want to breathe more into the story. And so it is kind of, I love that there have been so many different kinds of characters that have come alive in different ways. And I just think that's a really special thing. Yeah.
Were you familiar with not even the character, but were you a DC fan growing up, or was it just something new that landed in your laps and you're like, okay, this is an opportunity that I should take? And where were you at? Were you familiar with DC? Were you a fan or not? And it's okay if you weren't, because for those who are watching, not everybody read the comics, not everybody saw the cartoons.
Yeah.
That is fine. And I was just curious if you had any street cred before joining the show.
Street cred. I didn't have much street cred, but I will say it's kind of a mix. Like, for instance, I knew, like, I always watched like the old, Batman's and the old, I watched the films.
Mm-hmm.
And like when Marvel, I always found it fascinating. So I got into Marvel eventually when all the films started going. And so I just liked the imaginative life that comes from like all the films made from comics.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say that I was familiar with the comics, if that makes sense. So I would just get familiarized with the worlds by the films that came out. And I've always been a fan of that because I'm just kind of like a big, like, I just love entering different worlds. I mean, like when I was little, I played video games and I liked it. Like I didn't really play very much, but like it was always something like about the world that was really fun. And so, sorry, my hair is like literally my hair has.
It's all right. It's all good.
Like, just calm down. But so I would say I've always been like any films that would come out, I would always watch them. But I was never super familiar with the whole like comic land. So yeah, I didn't know there was a character White Rabbit before.
Right.
It's ironic that you're like, oh yeah, I saw the Batman movies. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The character has that connection to Gotham and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right.
Before and everybody has their origin stories. With via the characters and whatnot. How did doing this? How did you being part of the industry? How did that come about to you? Was that something that you got as a kid? Was it your fascination with gaming? Was it your fascination with media? Like, what was the what's the term, Brent? What was
What was your
the
introduction
moment?
into
Yeah,
becoming doing acting and
what was the moment that you're like, all right, I should do this. I want to do this.
So Brey Noelle's origin story.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great question. It was a process. I'll say that. So honestly, it came into my life a little bit later on. So initially, like growing up when I was little and everything, I was always very imaginative, very creative. But my main focus was always music, actually. That was like, I grew up in a family of musicians. We were always singing, playing, recording, performing, all that. And I wasn't as familiar with the world of like acting, but I mean, as a young kid, I would always put on skits and like do all these different things just for fun. Right. But professionally, I eventually always like pursued music was my main pursuit. And it was when I had graduated from college, did music in college. I had a band. My sister and I had a band together. We like toured all over Seattle, where we're from. We went to LA, we got management and did all the music thing. And then it just kind of went awry. It was kind of like it was messy and it got really rough and it was hard on my sister and my relationship. So we were like, okay, let's put this to the side. And it kind of felt like a loss of a dream at first, because that was like all I knew. And then I decided I started modeling, and then I tapped back into acting because I had done some of that before. And I also had acted in college. I had a coach who really thought I should pursue it. And I was like, well, I don't know how to do that, but thanks, And then so fast forward, it was like my path took me in a way that I started seeing other opportunities when my like main focus kind of, went away for a time. Music, when that kind of like needed to stop for a minute. And that's kind of when I discovered my love for acting again. And during that time, I had started a YouTube channel, just because I wanted a platform to like share my story and like have a kind of comedic storytelling. And it was through that I was cast and like sought out for this. It was a short film at the time. And I was like, is this real? Like, who are these people? And then I did my research. I was like, oh, okay, no, these are legit people. This isn't like a scam, And so I was like,
to check, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm open to this. This sounds cool. And that was actually filmed in Nashville. I ended up like leaving LA to kind of get a break from LA. And I was in Nashville at the time, filmed in Nashville, loved it. And then I got very involved with an acting community there. And my coach was like, you need to get an agent. You need to actually pursue this. And I was like, okay. So I got an agent, and then like right away I started booking within like just weeks. And a few months later, I started working in Atlanta because tons of filming started happening in Atlanta during that time. And then I moved to Atlanta. I was like, why? I need to live here. I'm like working, like always filming and working and whatever. And the community. So now I live in Atlanta, and the community here is very strong. But I travel a lot. I'm in New York. Sometimes I'm in LA. Whatever. But that is my kind of like getting into the film
industry.
Yeah.
Muchachos, anybody who's watching, I encourage you. I'm gonna plug you right now. Go follow Brey's social media. Like, again, I'm always doing my thing. I try to check, as best I can. But you're always posting this like, almost like, what's the word? Perseverance vibe, and all your posts. And I'm like, hey man. I tell people, don't sugarcoat just, the one episode appearance. If she keeps at it, who knows where the hell she's going to end up by the end of it. And again, I'm not saying that just because you're here. There's so much potential. Like, the fact that we only just saw you in that episode, just walking out crying and pissed. I was like, oh, fuck. What you must have gone through just to get that take in the can. But I tell people go watch your stuff because I feel the perseverance in you. And I've heard that story where people it's up, down, and the industry is tight as hell. No one's gonna open the door for you. And listen, I appreciate that you got your foot in. The notion that you're part of this franchise, and who knows where the possibilities end. I respect and I admire that. And
Thank you.
I know that you started with music, but I'm glad that you pursued acting. That you got to this point.
Well, thank you for that. It's so encouraging, and I'm glad you see that. You kind of get the sense of my aura on socials as well, because I really am big on really just building the life you love and just going after it. And because there's so much that we have in our hands, and we really can build the life we truly want to have. And there's perseverance and there's gratitude, so many things, but it's all about building the beauty. And then it takes different forms, and it expands. It actually usually just expands when we walk that way. Because there are times when I thought, even music, for instance, I thought it was like dunzo. And, I do music still, and now I'm recording my own project again. And it just took some years to get that back on the ground and, things like that. But then I would never have started acting if that didn't happen, and now I love that. And I'm a co-writer on a film that we, actually it was actually just playing in LA. It's cool. Just like all kinds of things come from the adversity that we face, as long as we just keep going. And with the building mindset, you just never know what it's going to build into. So I appreciate those words. And yes, we'll just see where the path keeps going for all of us, actually.
Yeah.
The positivity that you give shows that, I like John Cena does that on social media. He posts like a lot of positive messages out there. And I can tell from what you're saying is sending a positive message as well. So it's kind of I don't know if it's I don't know what it is, but I actually get that vibe from you as well. And honestly, I should be following you on social media realistically, but I've been so busy with my own
stuff. Brey, tell me, favorite place to shoot. What's been the favorite place that you're like, all right, I got to come back. We got to work here more. If I'm going to continue, I think I want to work here more.
Ooh, like location?
Yeah.
France, to be honest.
Oh,
I've never been. I want to go one day. I never been. From what people told me, that it's not oversold. But like it's a whole nother world and vibe to be being there. But so, you worked there multiple times, so you've only been there like once?
I was there once I shot there once, and we did that so there's a film. The film that I was actually a co-writer in the lead in, we went to Cannes Film Festival, which is the south of France.
Nice.
And the first year, me and my co-writer went to Cannes Film Festival. We shot part of the film in France, in Paris in particular. But I'm telling you, it was like just being in a different energy environment. It just inspires so much. It's just different. Like I'm all about like adventure. And so when I can be in a different, like a different land in a way, it's like, what different things come alive. You know what I mean? So, I mean, obviously I love everywhere I film, to be honest. I mean, to be honest, I also had one of my funnest times in Ohio. And, it's because maybe the people you're with, whatever, but every situation has different magic. But I will say locationally, France, dude, I'm there anytime, all the time. Yeah.
Cool.
Have you been to London? Have you ever been to London, UK to film or no?
I have not yet, but I have a ton of friends there now because at Cannes Film Festival, all my people are from the UK. And I'm like, dude, I need to be there. I think I'll be there within this year because I have
Right on.
And there's a lot of work there, there's a lot of and it really is just kind of booming a lot of places now. It's like expanding beyond one hub, which is, I think, a really great opportunity.
When Brey Noelle is not acting and when she's not writing movies, what's your hobby? What's the thing that people should know? I'm like, okay, why am I following her I should be following because she's a white rabbit, but like what is she into? Like you said early on that you're into gaming. Were you just like that just a passive thing, or what's the hobbies? Give me the thing.
I used to, when I was younger, I used to love gaming. I wouldn't say I'm a gamer now, but I can enjoy like my friends that are gamers, and I can hang, and I'm like, I find it very fascinating. But you know, there's so many gaming worlds. I'm like, I would have to like start over and get involved in a world again to do that. But it is fun to tap my toe in there. I will say this though, I am I'm an adventurer. I'm also about like just really like enjoying the simple things in life. So anything that's like around food and beverage and exploring and travel and like creating, I'm big on creating environments for people to hang. So I'm a big entertainer. I like always have people over. My wine bar is stocked all the time. I'm like ready to cook up anything. I'm like, oh, we have 10 people coming over. Okay. And then I'll just like figure out something. So I love anything that brings people together in my home. I just love to be like very hospitable. So I'm always like throwing events, doing fun things like holiday parties, like whatever. But also just anything outdoorsy, naturey, travel, adventure. Like, you know, people are like, let's go to the mountains. I'm like, yeah, let's do the mountain thing. Let's figure it out, man. So I'm kind of like a very, I like to just be adventure, and I like to explore culture. That's a big thing. Like I love traveling, traveling and experiencing different cultures. And even in America, there's so much different culture, you know, everywhere. And I've lived a number of places. I've lived in Seattle, LA, New York, like wherever. So I think there's just a love for different experiences, and internationally, obviously, you know, there's just so much, and there's a lot to learn from different people. So I am like all about food, wine, culture, adventure, travel, and like living an inspired life. So it's kind of what I embody in the things I do.
But if you do come to London, you should check out the Asian culture, the Indian food and stuff, because you might like that, because I'm an Indian myself, so I'm
okay.
Yeah, so
I would love that. In fact, I will say Indian food is my favorite.
Yeah, you might like it.
Right, okay,
it's really my favorite. I'm like obsessed. But that's so fun. I didn't even think about that in the UK. Okay, then we're there. I'm gonna touch base. You can show me the things.
Yeah.
It's allowed to be a tourist.
I could be a tourist. Yeah, I could be a tour guide.
So you've been working on movies. Mm-hmm. Was this your first TV show? It couldn't be.
It was my first major TV show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, have you had chance? And it's weird because people who work in the industry, sometimes I've heard they don't have time to watch movies or watch shows because they're always working or trying to get stuff in production. Have you had time to watch shows and movies throughout the year? And if so, what's been the movie and the show that you've watched that you're like, yo, if you're not watching this, you're not watching television or movie?
Right. That's so funny you asked me that, because I was just talking with my friend and he's like, I know you don't watch as many shows. I'm like, I know, I'm working on it, because it's true. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that. I literally was just having this conversation. It's like, watch more shows, because so I've been watching a lot of throwbacks just because I'm like, love some of the older stuff. And and I probably like totally different shows than like you guys would watch. Maybe, I don't know. Like I just watched this one. Like I loved Emily in Paris. It's so fun.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet, but I've
it's fun.
Friends have been on one, in the list of people be like, you have to watch this. Like, just get away from your superhero stuff and your stuff. Just check this out. It's out of your curveball. So, all right, Emily in Paris.
But I will say I'm really the throwbacks I've been into lately are like Suits, Chuck, White Collar, like these like I love investigative like action, but also comedic, like
procedural and
they get you thinking, but then you're also like can laugh. Like I like to work my brain and also feel good at the end. I don't like to feel like traumatized or on the edge of my seat and being like, what? I have to go to bed? That's why I was gonna ask, I mean, as an actor writer, you're absorbing also
both performance and scripting, I'm guessing, is how
Yes.
how it influences you and how you would want to do your own content as well from there, correct?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm constantly like gleaning things, and even just like how like cinematic, like the visuals, like I do take in a lot of things, and so sometimes I just want to like not be taking in too much stuff, and I just want to like relax. But then I'm like, well, I'm taking it in, man. Like I'm thinking all the time. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, how do I, So
As a production designer, I'm the same way. I'm looking at a movie or a TV show, and I'm taking in this, and how do they do this, and how do, and my brain is forgetting to enjoy the moment of watching the
right,
film.
you're just like,
Sometimes. Yeah, yeah,
see, you get it. I'm so glad.
yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
So, muchachos, we're almost out of time with Bray's giving us a gracious time to talk to her. I know if even you knew, you couldn't tell us about the future of White Rabbit. So all I'm gonna say, I'm spare you that. I'm just give you our pitches,
Okay.
guys. You tell me. I can't seeing a photo like this with these knuckleheads.
Yeah.
If you're telling me that she's not worthy of joining this gang and go to work at Checkmate, I say to this universe, please excuse my language, Bray. Fuck off. I'm like, no. Geo Master and Vigilante and Peacemaker can work for Checkmate. White Rabbit could work for Checkmate.
Yes.
I truly think that, like, I mean, it was too rich of an opening with that first episode, like, to not be the only time we see you. And I really hope, James, if you're watching this, I hope we see you in the future, and maybe even in Gotham. I don't know, but like at the very least, I would want you to at least work a day with Checkmate and see what that adventure is like. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm loony, or there's more to it?
I would love to. I would love to see you turn up in every show from here on in as that character just suddenly comes in, has a moment, and we see a development as your character grows. But then over the course of the next 10 years, you finally get somewhere, and we get to see that as a journey.
I was waiting for a scene between White Rabbit and Sasha Bordeaux and like Emilia, and then just talking shit about Guy Gardner. I was waiting for like a little like outtake scene of them, like, oh, that fucking asshole, like, oh man, I couldn't wait for it.
I love it.
Yeah, but for me though, right? I would like to see you in TV shows, but I'd also like to see you in a video game. Right? I'm a video game nerd myself, right? So I'd like to see White Rabbit in a DCU video game. That would be pretty cool. You could get the voice. You could voice act in a video game.
Yeah.
That's White Rabbit. So that'd be pretty cool.
Have you done voiceover work before, Brey, or no?
I have. Yep, I have done quite a bit of it. Cool. So
DC Studios, come on now.
Yeah.
I'll like your guys' ideas, by the way.
Our pitches.
We'll keep our fingers crossed for you, for sure.
Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, Brey, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you
for, and also shout out to your manager Amanda for taking me, just be like, yo, can we please talk to her before the show ends? Like, we need to talk to her a little bit about this stuff. And I wish you the best. I really hope this is not the last time we talk and our paths cross. And I would get a kick out of it if a few years down the line you show up in a movie or in a show and they're like, oh, look at us. All those years ago, we just talked about it as soon as that first appearance showed up. And look where we're at now.
Yeah.
I can't think enough. Please, Brey, plug yourself. Is there any new project you have coming out that you want people to know about? Social media, please plug yourself. The floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Oh my gosh, my heart is full. Everything you online, you can find Brey Noelle at Brey Noelle, Instagram, all the things. You can keep your eyes peeled. I do have the film I mentioned earlier. It's called The Living Tree, and it's right now in the festival circuit to be on streaming come 2026. And I'm very excited about it. It's actually a sci-fi thriller. So I'm the lead in that, and I'm passionate about it. It's one of a trilogy of 3. So we're working on the sequel right now, actually. So excited about that. And I have just some other projects in the works, but they'll be coming out as I can share. I also have a single coming out, a music single. So I have a song. It's like a pop soul song single coming out probably within this next month, and then more music to come. So, I just like to keep the projects going. So
Cool.
Beautiful.
Cool.
And BreyNoelle.com is my website for anything.
BreyNoelle.com. Okay,
I
folks.
actually gave you a follow, by the way, on Twitter. So just to let you know, I just did that.
Oh,
now.
sweet. Okay.
The Living Tree, folks, around the circuits, film festival circuits, go seek it out. Again, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Put this out later
you.
on all socials, and we'll just spread the word out. And again, thanks so much, Brey. It was a pleasure to finally meet you and talk to you. And hopefully, maybe we could do this one day in person.
Yes, you guys are awesome.
Much appreciated.
Thank
Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.